Hello and welcome to Milford High School on Friday, November 3rd for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2017, found only on HCAT TV. Tonight the Panthers face border town rivals, the Milford Scarlet Hawks. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is my border town rival, colorman and ex-clocker, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, for two teams that lost winnable games last week and are out of the playoffs, could this rivalry game be just what the doctor ordered for these teams tonight?
You know what, Tom? I really hope so, and for a couple of reasons. First of all, tonight what you're going to see are two teams that mirror each other. They both have a spread offense. They both have a war offense. The wide receivers look good from both teams. Quarterbacks about equal. Lines about equal. So it should be a good equal game. And just if I could throw in a little personal note here, this is what I think from now on should be the Thanksgiving Day game: Holliston against Milford.
Mark it here. Captains out for the opening coin toss: number 34, Ben Thomas; number 4, Ryan Benko; number 5, Jake Armstrong; number 6, Kevin Quinn; number 53, Alex Kelly; and number 72, Scott Elliott. Panthers come into this game with a record of 3-4, averaging 21 points a game, giving up 20 on the defense. Their head coach, Todd Kiley's in his 15th season with the Panthers. His record's 127 wins against 41 losses. The Milford Scarlet Hawks are 3-5, averaging 15 points a game, giving up 19. Their head coach is Anthony Viskakis in his first season with the Scarlet Hawks.
Yeah, and you know, Tom, this is a first for Holliston, too, because since they've gone to the new state format, this is the first time that Holliston has been out of the playoffs so early. So this is going to be something interesting to see how the coaches handle this. There's a lot of things they can and cannot do. One of the things being, you know, are they going to want to look at some kids from next year? You know, are they going to want to just keep playing the seniors? How are they going to do it? It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be full steam ahead whichever way they do. I'm sure Holliston's going to be aggressive offensively and defensively, as Milford will be too, because both these teams want this. But it'd be interesting to see how Holliston plays these next 2 or 3 games.
Well, Holliston's going to receive the ball first, so we'll see that Panther offense on the field. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. And now HCAT's onboard statistician Carlos Canto with Los's pregame lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. You know, the last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, September 19th, 2014. Holliston came away with a convincing 43-21 victory over the Scarlet Hawks of Milford. Panthers outgained Milford 314 yards to 180. Leading the way for the Panthers that night, quarterback Nick Athey, 8 of 12 for 151 yards, 1 touchdown passing, no interceptions. Also getting it done on the ground, 132 yards rushing. He was the leading rusher on 17 carries. That included 3 big touchdowns. Who's going to step up tonight? I think these two teams are ready to get going.
Thank you, Los.
Tom, you're going to get a treat tonight looking at this kicker, Lahane. He's exceptional kicker. He kicked a 46-yard field goal against Stoughton, and he kicked another 41 or 42-yarder also earlier in the year. So he's got a powerful leg.
Well, he's kicking into a pretty stiff wind here to start the game. Can't get the ball to stay on the tee.
Yeah, and the wind is blowing right now. From our vantage point, it's blowing right to left. So it is very, very strong wind.
Back deep for the Panthers, number 8, Brad Seymour, number 5, Jake Armstrong. It bounces at the 18-yard line, taken by Brad Seymour. And he's up across the 35-yard line for the Panthers to start 1st and 10. Panthers last week lost to Scituate 28-14, but they racked up over 300 yards of offense, 228 yards on the ground. They were led by Ryan Benko, 9 carries for 66 yards for Holliston. Dylan Ibbotson, number 32, at the tailback spot. Handoff to him right away. He's close to the 40-yard line, gain of 2. 2nd and 8 for the Panthers.
Milford's got a pretty good defense, Tom. They play play pretty well together. They've had a pretty good year defensively. You know, offensively they've had a few issues, I think, but defensively they've been very, very good. So be a little hill for Holliston to climb here.
2nd down and 8. Handoff to number 27, Tristan Benson. He squeezes his way across the 45 to the 47 and close to a Panther first down. Holliston moving quickly to the line. It's actually going to be 3rd down and less than a yard.
3rd down and 1.
Handoff to Benson. He tries to bounce it to the outside, but is caught for a loss. And that's going to bring up 4th down for Holliston.
Well, it's 4th down, and in this game, I bet you Holliston's going to go for this, Tom. It's 4th and short. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaching staff, you know, how they use this game. Are they obviously going to try and win the game, but are they going to try and try some new things that they haven't tried before? Are they going to have some different kids playing? We'll see. Already we have Tristan Benson in the offensive backfield.
So 4th down and 2 for Holliston. Handoff to Ibbotson, but he's wrapped up.
They're pretty solid. Milford is on the inside. They, you know, that front 6 or 7 that they use is really pretty good. And what I've seen from them, if you're going to attack them, Tom, I think you want to do 2 things: either throw the ball, which is going to be kind of tough tonight, although we are going in the right direction to throw the ball, or use those outside edges a little bit more.
Starting defense for the Panthers, number 54, Will Solorier, who had the interception last week. 55, John Canal. 57, Will Crowley. And Milford goes to war. They pitch it to number 28, Ryan O'Toole. And he gets into the 2nd level and picks up about 15 yards for a first down for the Hawks.
Yeah, they like to come out of here in a no huddle too. They like to go right into it when they're doing the war. The thing you notice about the war with them, Tom, is they usually the outside a little bit more than Holliston does. Holliston likes a lot of times to run between tackles. And another thing they will do, they will pass out of this formation, so you got to be careful of that too.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 24-yard line. They hand off to the number 22, senior captain Will Pointer. He's the leading scorer on the Hawks with 7 touchdowns on the season.
Pointer's also a really good receiver. He gets out there, uses his size a little bit. He's fast, and he's got really good hands.
2nd down and 5. Also out there for the Panthers at middle linebacker, number 53, Alex Kelly, and number 44, Connor Mulvaney. Seymour and Armstrong are your safeties. They hand off to Pointer on the sweep play. He's pushed out of bounds, close to the 15. Let's see. I think he has enough for the first down. So Milford keeping it on the ground for 3 straight plays, and they've got 2 first downs against the Panthers.
And they're like Holliston, where they have both the war and the spread offenses.
Well, not surprising, Jay. Anthony Viskakis was an assistant coach for the Panthers for at least 4 years. And looks like he's brought the war spread philosophy over here to the Scarlet Hawks in Milford for his first season as head coach. So it's a first down at the 11-yard line. This time they go to O'Toole. Heads for the corner, dives for the cone. A touchdown for Milford. From 11 yards out, Ryan O'Toole with his 2nd touchdown of the season. 7:48 to go in the first quarter. Milford able to use the short field to their advantage.
Defensively against the war, when they're running the war, Milford is, you've got to make sure to contain. You should contain all the time anyway, but got to watch them. As I said, they like to go outside a lot more than Holliston does using the war.
Extra point attempt is up, but no good.
Wow.
So with 7:48 to go in the first quarter, Milford leads the Panthers 6-0. I think this is This is one of the few times the Panthers have seen the war offense. Have they seen a true war offense this season yet?
Not this season. And the last time I actually remember them seeing it, to the best of my ability thinking of this, was Medfield. Several years ago, they used a very similar offense to this. And Holliston, I thought, kind of took that offense and kind of made some changes to it.
That was back in 2005, 2006. I used to call that the turtle.
Yeah.
Because they covered the quarterback who was up under center so much. When the ball was snapped, you could not see who had the ball, and they would just move forward 1-2 yards at a time.
And interestingly enough, Milford also does the same thing Holliston does. They use two different quarterbacks, one for the spread and one for the war.
Here's a high kick by Lehane. Comes down at the 5-yard line for Seymour. Full set of steam as he crosses the 30 to the 35. Nice return there by Brad Seymour. Brad Seymour in the season, 4 touchdowns and 618 all-purpose yards to lead the Panthers.
This is a very well-balanced Panther team. Of course, we have Mikey Nash, who's not here tonight. He's not playing. He's here, but not playing. And you know, he was good. Of course, you have Jake Armstrong and you know, Brad Seymour and now Tristan Benson. And you had Fahey. You have a lot of guys who got the ball.
Henry Naughton in a quarterback as Holliston goes to war. Pitches to number 5, Jake Armstrong. He's out close to the 40-yard line. Gain of 4. Let's see where they mark it. Mark it a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Armstrong on the right wing. 27, Benson on the left. They go to Armstrong again. And he is stopped for no gain. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And see, right away you can see the difference that I talked about earlier, Tom, when I said, you know, Holliston really likes to go between those tackles. They will come outside, but they really like to go between those tackles and use that really strong offensive line that they have. Milford really prefers to go a little bit further outside. It's just really what you have and how well your offensive line is playing.
Benko has 2 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Seymour and Armstrong to the right. Billy Nash and Quinn to the left. Benko looks right, under a lot of pressure, heads out of bounds, picks up a couple of yards, but that's going to bring up a 4th down and 5.
And I might have saw a flag. There's a flag, a personal foul, I think, here. Let's see. Let's see who it's against. I don't know if that's called a hit out of bounds, but the flag came in after Brian had gone out of bounds. Dead ball, personal foul against Milford. So Holliston will get 15 yards and get an automatic 1st down. So glad Benko's okay, but that will move the ball into Milford territory at the 45. 6:25 to go here in the 1st quarter. Milford on the board first, 6-0.
First and 10, Holliston from the Milford 45.
Quinn in motion. Fake to Ibbotson. Benko rolls, looks deep, got an open receiver. Incomplete. Just knocked away at the last second. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, that way he was throwing that with the wind, and you could tell the point of the ball, the front point of that ball was kind of up. It kind of drifted up a little high in the wind there, and I'm not sure if that's what would happen. If that's, it shouldn't have slowed it down. I mean, it's going with the wind, but it just seemed to kind of float out there a little bit too long. I think that that Ryan would have rather preferred it a little more on the line.
So 2nd down and 10 for Holliston. Quinn in motion. Benko looks right, comes back to Ibbotson on the screen pass. He reaches forward. He's close to a 1st down. at the 35.
Yeah, and what Holliston did there is they caught Milford in a blitz situation. And Milford brought everybody except for one linebacker, and that linebacker was able to just catch Ibbotson at the very end of that play. So Holliston with a first down. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at about the Milford 35-yard line. 5:25 and rolling with the clock, and it's 6-0 Milford lead.
Benko with Benson to his right. Handoff to Benson, got some room, makes a move at the 30, close to the 25, and another Panther first down.
I love the way Tristan Benson runs. He runs very, very hard. You know, when you see him, he's running extremely hard. He makes good cuts. He's fast, and he's going to be a good one. He's only a freshman.
Benson running for a 7.5 average and 2 touchdowns on the season. 1st and 10 Holliston, handoff to 27. Whoa. But he runs into a Scarlet Hawk right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Bit of a new combination up front for the Panthers, I'm noticing. Elliott, Lynch, and now they got number 59, sophomore Ryan Burchard at center. They're moving Will Crowley over to the guard position and next to Soloria, 54.
2nd and 10 at the 25 of Milford.
Fake to Ibbotson. Benko on the roll, looks deep. The ball just flew there with the wind behind it. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. 4:16 to go in the first quarter. Panthers trailing 6-0.
You know, it is easier, obviously, to throw the ball with the wind, but it's not easy to throw the ball with the wind. By that I mean, you know, I'd rather be throwing with the wind as opposed to into it. But the fact of the matter is, you still got to use the wind. If you ask quarterbacks at any level, they'll tell you all the time, oh, we don't care about rain, we don't care about snow, we don't care about anything but the wind. The wind will really affect the quarterbacks.
So 3rd and 10. So Billy Nash to the left. Topher Ryan, number 43, to the left. Here comes Quinn in motion to the right with Armstrong over there. Flag flies. Incomplete pass.
Got a couple of them.
See what the call is.
Right now we're sitting at 4:11 left in the first quarter. Milford leading 6-0.
So that's going to back the Panthers up to a 3rd down and 15.
If he accepts it. I'm not so sure I would accept this. Let's see. He's going to decline this, I believe. Yeah, it's illegal procedure against Holliston declined. It'll be 4th down.
So 4th and 10 for Holliston.
That's a good move by the coaching staff over there. I'd trade the 10 yards for the 5 yards for the down any time.
Coach Kiley singles in the play. And it looks like we got a timeout on the field with 4:11 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers facing a 4th and 10. So Holliston not finding the mojo that they had against Scituate last week quite here against Milford.
Well, you know what happened last week? Obviously, they took the opening kickoff. Scituate scored on the opening kickoff, and then Holliston didn't do much. Scituate got the ball back and scored again quickly, and Holliston was down 14-0. So it's not quite as bad as it was down in Scituate, but with 4:11 here, you know, it's only 6-0, and you know, you get this first down here or maybe a touchdown here, and you know, either right back in it with a tie game, or if you get the extra point, you're in it. You got the lead. So. Big 4th down here for Holliston, and a big 4th down for Milford. This is a good Milford team. You know, they beat some pretty good teams, Tom.
Big win against Foxborough, 30-24 on this field. Milford only 1-3 on their home field this season. So Benko with the empty backfield, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to the left. Need a little spark here. Rolls away from the pressure. Throws, complete pass to number 5, Jake Armstrong. Well, that's how you get things going. Make that connection work. Benko to Armstrong for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
And that's a connection we saw even in the summertime. These two worked very well together, Benko and Jake Armstrong. And Jake, as I said earlier, he's had a heck of a year for Holliston.
Well, they had a heck of a touchdown connection, a 26-yard beauty that Jake Armstrong went up and tore out of the hands of a Situate defender for that first score for Holliston. So Naughton in a quarterback. Brad Seymour, number 8 on the left, number 5 Armstrong on the right. Pitches to Armstrong. And tackled for no gain. No. That's one of the ways that we've seen that you can do well against this War offense is chase it from behind, Jay. And that's what the Milford defender did.
Well, you
right
can.
there.
And they practiced against us. So they know those strengths and weaknesses of the War offense.
So Holliston goes empty backfield. And a new quarterback Benko looks to the end zone. Just a little high. So that'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line.
2:55 left to go in the first quarter. First quarter that was going pretty quickly. Now it's slowed down a little bit. Holliston down 6-0. But they got 2 shots here to get the touchdown to tie the game, the extra point to go ahead.
Number 55, John Canal, comes in at guard. So 3rd down and goal from the 8. Armstrong, Seymour, and Ibbotson head to the right. Nash, Billy Nash, and Quinn to the left. Benko's going to roll right, away from the pressure. And incomplete.
Ryan Benko's fastball is incomplete.
That's going to bring up 4th down and goal.
Hey, Tom, this Milford defense is really getting in. They're really not having any problem at all getting in on Ryan Benko, and it's the line as well as the linebackers that are coming in. So I think the Holliston offensive line's got to do a little bit better job of giving Ryan Benko a little more time.
Do you think that was there anybody spying on Benko when he rolled out? I wasn't sure if he had any room to try to run the ball there.
Well, he didn't look like he did, no.
So empty backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. On 4th down and goal from the 8. Benko rolls to the short side, looks, fires, and it's intercepted right on the goal line. And run out of the end zone close to the 30-yard line for the Milford Scarlet Hawks.
Well, that was played brilliantly by that defensive back, and I think that as soon as the ball left Ryan's hands, he kind of knew that he made a bad decision there, and he obviously came out and was able to help stop the run back also. But Holliston has had some problems with turnovers, Tom. It started in that Medfield game where they turned the ball over 6 times, and they came into Situate and they actually won the turnover battle in Situate. But turnovers, I'll tell you, no matter what kind of team you're playing, whether you're playing the playoffs or not, turnovers and penalties are going to kill you.
I can see some of the seniors out there clapping their hands to try to get the defense together here to come up with a big stop. Handoff is to 22 Pointer. He's able to break it to the outside and pick up a 1st down.
Well, Will Pointer, I know our crack statistician, Carlos Cantor, was asking me if Will Pointer is related to T.D. Pointer. I'm not sure if he is or not. But
I am going to say decidedly no.
Okay. 222,
because
221.
If that's the case, his dad chose against him today.
Yeah.
So that's not a good call.
It's down to 2:15, and the clock is running in the first quarter. Milford leading 6-0.
So ball at the Milford 43. Hands off this time to Ryan O'Toole, number 28. He's forward for a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Hawks.
Yeah, O'Toole's a good back. He does a lot of the punts and kickoffs also.
2-yard gain on the fly, brings up 2nd down and 8.
You've got to watch. I know I keep saying it, Tom, but you've got to watch the outside when they're in the war. And the other thing is they will throw, and they will throw deep out of this package.
Going a quarterback sneak here. Let's see, picking up a 2-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 for Milford.
Clock running with 1:10 left to go in the first quarter.
2-yard gain on the play. It's a 3rd down and 6 on the 47.
A good stop by the Panthers there.
They got the ball at the Milford's got the ball at their own 47, and Holliston would like to keep the ball on that side of the 50, so there'd be no thoughts of going for it on 4th down.
They pitch the ball to Pointer. Bounces it to the outside. Got some room. Alex Kelly makes the tackle, but not before Pointer makes it to the 20-yard line. Milford knocking on the door at the red zone again.
Well, that time he kind of went a little bit off tackle. He didn't go all the way outside. And there was just, he got by that first line of defense, and there was nobody else there for Holliston. That's one of the things, you know, we watch how teams defend against the war, and it's interesting to see how Coach Kiley defends against the war. And, you know, you got to try and stay in packed in tight, but you don't want to be packed in so tight that A, you can't get outside, and B, you can't move. There's a lot of bodies right in there, and one guy can have a good run and take off.
Yeah, they give it to O'Toole. Panthers string that out pretty well.
Nice job. That's how you want to play that. See, and when they want to go to the outside like that, you got to string it out, catch them, and don't let them get any yardage.
We got a flag on the play, Jay, and it's a holding call against Milford.
With 31 seconds to go in the first half, and Holliston down 6-0.
So that'll back the Hawks up to the 35-yard line.
Thank you.
So 1st down and 20 for Milford. We're down to 31 seconds left in the first quarter.
And Milford's staying in the war, so it's really tough to attack the war, too. It's really tough to blitz on the war or come in. You're just too many guys there, too many bodies.
And they pitch it to number 17. He breaks one tackle, spins forward, and it looks like he picked up the penalty yardage, and will have 2nd down and 10.
And somebody on that Milford side made a tremendous block on the outside. As the Holliston man was containing, he did his job in containment, but he got, and it was a legal block too, he got shoved aside, and that opened up the gate for the runner to get the first, or get the 2nd yardage.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Milford leading Holliston 6-0, and it's time for This Week in Panther Football History, brought to you by Holliston Panther Football History book, written by our friend Ken Dunn.
Yep.
816 pages, covers 120 years of Holliston Panther football history. Make sure to pick up your copy on Amazon.com, or my suggestion is down at Fisk General Store. See John Paul Trineri. He's got a couple of signed copies set aside, signatures by Tom Cato, Gary Alger, Ken Dunn, and Todd Kiley.
Yeah, I bought one for one of the real old-time Holliston superstars, Henry Bullard, and got it down to him down in Florida.
That's great. In 1973 was the first time that Holliston and Milford had met since 1909. And Holliston, that was the Tom Cato years, and that was the first game of the season in 1973, and Holliston was riding a 20-game winning streak, and they were facing Dick Corbin, the Hall of Fame coach of the Milford Hawks back there. And Milford came away with a 7-6 win. More on that later. Pitch to O'Toole, 28. He strings the play out, finds the corner, heads for the cone, and it's a touchdown for Milford. So Milford 2 for 2 on their offensive drives as they score on the first play of the second quarter from 25 yards out. Number 28, Ryan O'Toole, with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Well, they get to the outside, Tom, and, you know, I hate to keep saying it over and over again, but you cannot let them get outside. You've got to contain, and really that's all you got to do against them here on when they're running the war.
Extra point by Lehane is strong and out of the park, but this one's good. He's 1 for 2. And with 10:50 to go in the second quarter, Milford's up 13-0 over Holliston.
You know, Tom, you talk about that game back in the 70s. Well, Dick Corbin, Coach Corbin, he was a gym teacher over in Ashland when I was there, and boy, did I wish he was our high school football coach. He was really something. He really he started a wrestling program in Ashland, and I think it was either the first or second year they came in like third in New England. He was amazing what he did with that wrestling program, and he coached at Harvard for a while, and you know, he's the guy that brought Howie Long here to Milford. He's and just a real gentleman, real nice guy, and unfortunately he lost his life in an auto accident a few years ago.
No, a great, you're right, Jay. He was well respected all over the place. He ended up coaching at Harvard University for Joe Restic. Joe Restic was his neighbor.
Yeah.
And he coached Joe's young son, but ended up in Harvard and all over, well respected all over the area. Lehane's kick with the wind behind him goes 5 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback.
You know, I don't know if he's a senior or not, but if he is, he's going to go somewhere. Some scout's going to get him into school because he has a tremendous leg. He really does.
3 field goals this season, a 46-yarder and a 42-yarder. So that's some serious kicking on the high school level. Back to Dick Corbin, though. Howie Long mentioned Dick Corbin when he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, saying that Dick Corbin saw him in the hallway here at Milford High School one time and said, you know, I want you to come out for football. Howie Long said, I don't know anything about football. And just amazed about the great patience that Dick Corbin showed with him, and Dick Corbin's wife helping Howie with his studies, allowing him to graduate and go to Villanova and on to his NFL career. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Handoff right up the middle to number 32, Dylan Ibbotson.
I think, Tom, they're going to have to go either to the outside or up top with a pass because the tackle to tackle, Milford right now is really controlling that line of scrimmage, and you got to give those guys in the offensive line a break by getting to the outside and maybe splitting those defenders a little bit.
2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. Benko under the blitz is just taken down for a loss. Big sack on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Holliston.
Coming up on 10 minutes to go left in the half. Holliston down 13-0, and the ball is at the 11.
No, it's on the
16 yard line.
So 3rd down and 13.
There's a 3rd down and 13.
Empty backfield for Benko. He rolls right, fires high, incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down and force the Panthers to punt. So now Holliston's got the wind in their face a little bit, although it does seem to be ebbing a little bit more than it was earlier in the game.
Yeah, it's stopping a little bit, but it'll gust every so often. Like right now, a gust is coming up.
Benko to punt, keeps a nice low punt, takes a Panther bounce, and comes to rest at the Milford 44-yard line. So with 9:21 to go in the second quarter, Milford leads Holliston 13-0.
Well, this is going to be interesting, Tom. Holliston really has to make a stop here because, you know, right so far, especially in the line at the line of scrimmage, Milford's winning that battle right now, and both offensively and defensively. And Holliston's got to come up with a stop here. They got to stop them. They're going again to war, and again, you got to split out. You don't let them go out. Make them turn in so your linebackers and safeties can make some tackles.
Pitches to O'Toole, and
go.
there's number 1, Cam Lamont, doing what? That's my remedy for the War offense is chase that from behind. They don't block Lamont. He can come off the right side, make the tackle for a gain of 2. Because the other thing is that those running backs, they check up a little bit trying to find the opening somewhere along that line.
Yep.
And if you're chasing them from behind, they don't have as much decision time.
Right. They don't have as much time, and they can't see you either because they're looking downfield and you're coming from behind. But you've got to also have the speed to catch them, and you also got to watch out for a reverse.
Actually, 2nd down and 9, only a gain of 1. Here they hand off to Pointer, coming around the left-hand side. He makes it to pushed out of bounds, but not before he picks up a 1st down at the 37-yard line.
And that play is good for the Skyhawks. First down and 10, Milford from the Holliston.
You know, we really haven't thought a lot about how you might defend. We've seen people try and defend the War.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes people are successful, but not too often.
Well, O'Toole and Pointer are giving the Panthers all they can handle right now. Here's the pitch to Joyce, number 17.
That's how you do it, right there.
And up comes Brad Seymour for the hit and tackle.
Yeah, nicely done by Brad, and that's what you want to do. String that out. String it out, and then, you know, make the tackle. Either get him out of bounds or make the tackle.
So loss of 1 will bring up a 2nd down and 11. And we've got a player down on the field. So timeout on the field with 8:08 to go in the first half. Milford leading Holliston 13-0. So 2nd and 11. Pitches to number 4. Breaks a couple of tackles. Panthers chase him down, but he's inside the 20-yard line for another 1st down for the Hawks.
Clock is running. There'll be 7.5 minutes left in the first half. Holliston down 13-0.
First and 10, Milford at the Holliston 18-yard line.
So ball's at the 18-yard line for Milford. Holliston needs to come up with a big play somewhere here. See if they come up right here. No, they pitch it to number 4 again, but this time they plug up the hole pretty well. Stop him from no gain.
And I don't think we've seen Milford yet go into their spread, have we? They played War the whole time.
Number 4 is Brendan White.
They have 2 or 3 really good receivers when they go into the spread. One of them, I believe, is a transfer student.
So gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9. This time they're going to go to Pointer. Pointer tries to get a matchup and is spun out of bounds.
You know, Pointer is a really good ball player, really good, but he's not exceptionally big, so it doesn't seem like he's exceptionally strong, like not trying to tackle. He's fast, but he's not exceptionally fast. But Holliston seems to be having a little trouble tackling him.
So 3rd down and 4. Ball's on the 11. 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Clock running here in the first half. Milford leading 13-0. So they got White on the left, Pointer on the right. Quarterback sneak, as that's number 11.
Yeah, and they didn't get the 1st down on that, so they're going to be going.
Ryan Pearl, the quarterback.
This will be interesting. Let's see if they try for the field goal, if they go for the 1st down.
Lahane would have the wind at his back.
And this is well within his range.
So 4th down and 3 for Milford.
It looks like they're going for it.
Viskakis checking it out. Imagine he's just going to call a timeout. He's talking to his quarterback. Yeah.
Clock is running, Tom. 4:50 left to go in the half.
And Milford takes a timeout with 4:48 to go in the first half, leading the Panthers by 2 scores, 13-0. Coach Paul Athey talking to Alex Kelly, his senior captain middle linebacker on defense.
So we get to see.
And they are lining up for the field goal attempt. Lehane, number 8. And it's a very strong kick from the 17, so that'll be a 27-yarder. And it's 16-0 Milford.
You know, we've been doing this for a long time, Tom. I'm trying to remember if I've seen anyone at this level who kicks that well. He is really good. I mean, he's kicking the ball, like you said, out of the stadium here.
I hope they got enough footballs.
Yeah. 4:43 left to go in the first half. 16-0, Milford in the lead. And Holliston's got to kind of figure out what to do, both offensively and defensively. They're having a tough time with this Milford team. You know, I said earlier, Tom, in the beginning, I really, really think this would be, now that the way they're playing the games and playing Westwood early in the season, I think this would be a really nice matchup for Thanksgiving Day game. You know, it'd be one of these border wars that a lot of these towns love to have on Thanksgiving Day. And, you know, you don't have a 100 or 90-year, you know, history with Westwood on Thanksgiving Day, so it wouldn't be like you're giving up anything big like an Ashland Hopkinton thing would be, you know, after 100 years or so.
Well, they first started playing in the first time they played Milford, 1897, back in their first season of football. Here's Lehane with the kickoff, and his ball just drives 5 yards deep, but out comes Jake Armstrong. Out comes Brad Seymour, and he carries it across the 20 to the 22-yard line. But 1897 is the first game, and this, after almost 120 years, this is the 14th time that these two teams have faced. As I mentioned, that they didn't face each other from 1909 till 1973, and then from 1973 it was another 40 years until 2013 when this rivalry renewed itself for a home and away series just a couple of years ago. Holliston on first down, pitches it to Benson, and number 27 gets stacked up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Clock keeps running. 4:10 now left in the first half.
Holliston going to an empty backfield spread. 3 receivers to Benko's left. And on the quarterback draw, he sneaks through to the second level, breaks a tackle. One guy to beat. Benko gives him a strong shove, but he's into Milford territory, and a long gain and a first down. Panthers at the Milford 36-yard line.
Well, a little life now for Holliston. They really needed that. They needed something to wake them up, and a nice run by Benko, nice blocking on the right side of the offensive line for Holliston to open that up for Ryan, and he took advantage of it.
Well, that's the changeup. You get these, get Milford running upfield really hard, and opens it up. So, empty backfield on 1st and 10. Benko is going to roll left away from the pressure, tucks the shoulder, picks up 5 yards.
There's a timeout for Holliston.
2nd and 6 for the Panthers. 3:20 to go here in the first half. Panthers trailing by 16. They've got the ball on the 32-yard line of Milford. So Holliston's going to go with that empty backfield. 3 receivers to Benko's right. He rolls right, looks back left, connects with, I think that's Brad Seymour, number 8.
Well, Ryan did it.
He's close to a first down.
Ryan did a nice job that time getting it off because they blitzed from the other side this time, and he threw basically right into the area where the man, the blitzer, was coming from.
So 3rd down and 1 for Holliston. Benko rolls right, steps up, got a lot of pressure. Gets tossed out of bounds, but I think he wrestled enough to get the first down.
Yeah.
Nice play by number 4.
He did. He got the first down, and clock will stop to move the markers.
Benko has rushed coming into this game for over 200 yards. As I mentioned, he had a really good game against Scituate, 66 yards on 9 carries.
2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Holliston trailing 16-0.
So first down at the 22-yard line of Milford. Benko on the draw, gets grabbed, and is going to be brought down for a loss. So Milford covered that play well.
The wind is still really gusting, and it's gusting, right into the face of Ryan Benko.
Timeout Holliston with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first half. So let's see if the Panthers can get open quickly. Buy a little time for Benko to find the open man. So 2nd down and 14 for Holliston. Benko looks downfield, puts the ball up. Armstrong comes back for it, but it's picked off by Milford inside the 10-yard line.
Well, first 2 things. Number 1, Jake Armstrong would not release that runner after he intercepted the ball. That was a nice job by Jake, because he could have broken that for a long return, but Jake would not have any of that, and he was able to hold it down. The other thing was throwing into this wind in that direction is really, really tough, and you can see how that ball, once it got up there, Tom, it just hung, and it didn't even go far enough to reach the Holliston man. And the Milford back, who was actually beaten by the Holliston man, was just sitting there, and he took the ball that the wind held up.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Scarlet Hawks. Ball at their own 8-yard line. Pointer to the right, O'Toole to the left. They go inside on the changeup.
Yeah, and you see when they go
Holliston takes a timeout.
When they go inside, Holliston, they play it really well. They do a nice job controlling. I think they had one decent run when they went kind of inside the tackle, Milford did. But other than that, Holliston's really controlled them. It's when they've gotten to the outside that they've done all their damage.
So 2nd down and 10 with 1:54 to go in the first half.
And Tom, just remember one other thing, too, that I've said a couple times tonight. They will throw out of this formation. So if people think they're just going to run the clock out with 1:54, I'm not so sure they would do that.
Last week against Duxbury, Milford lost 9-7. They only were 3 of 8 passing. They didn't pass till the 3rd quarter. They ran it 40 times.
They're out in the spread.
There's the pass by Pearl. And incomplete. Good coverage there by number 8, Brad Seymour.
Yeah, they jumped into the spread offense right there, and that's the first time we've seen that tonight by Milford.
Now, Pearl's not the quarterback that usually quarterbacks out of that spread offense.
Right.
It's Perez, number 7. But with this wind, that was a pretty good ball.
Was good.
With the wind. But that brings up 3rd down and 10, and a big down here for the Panthers. If they can come up with a stop, force Milford to kick them the ball with a minute to go here in the first half, trailing 16-0. And Pearl goes back, and he is tackled for a sack. Number 51, David Harding.
Holliston immediately calls a 20-second timeout.
Along with 54, Solorier.
20-second timeout by Holliston. Good job by them. And what happened was, what might have saved a lot of time here was that pass they ran in the previous play was an incomplete pass, stops the clock, and Holliston did not have to use one of their timeouts.
So 4th and 13 after the loss on the play. Clock is stopped with 1:43 to go.
And punting with the wind.
And the punter from Milford is right back on the end zone. Nice high kick. Going to come down to Armstrong. And he's able to cover it up, but all the way back at the Holliston 40. And, well, if Jake hadn't played that ball, that ball might have gone all the way back to the 20.
I was just going to say that he really had to. You know, a lot of times you're looking, you say, well, why would he even try and feel it? That ball was a knuckler coming down, but you're right, he had to do it because that ball had good forward momentum, and with this wind, Tom, it would have probably gone back a few more yards. Now, if Milford got the ball on the fumble, then it would have been a different story, but he really had to do that. I don't really think he had much choice.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 40-yard line. They've got 1:33 to work with. Benko on 1st down, quickly to Armstrong on the bubble screen. He's forward for 9 yards. Clock running. 1:21 to go in the first half. Holliston quick to the line. Benko looks again. And inside, and there's a flag, going to be an interference call on number 18, Curran.
Now, a small adjustment was made by Holliston there. They brought Ibbotson back, and they had him in the backfield, and he was able to block that the blitzer coming in off of Benko's left-hand side. So really nice job by Ibbotson. That's a nice adjustment, and it gave Ryan. It's going to give Ryan a little more time if they keep doing that. So I think they really have to do that.
Ibbotson's been doing a great job all season blocking in that backfield. Just seen some incredible blocks. So they give the Panthers the 1st down as they move into Milford territory. Benko bounces away from the pressure, throws it out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:01 to go in the first half. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, once again, Ibbotson, really nice block. Nice hard block. He set himself perfectly and gave a nice block against the Holliston kids and against the Milford kid, and then it allowed Ryan a little more time to run to this side. He could, if Ibbotson could block that guy a little bit further towards the line, Ryan Benko is going to be able to go to his left and either throw or run the ball. So see if that happens here.
Ball's on the Milford 43-yard line. Benko looks downfield. Nice ball. Armstrong is open. Touchdown, Panthers! Jake Armstrong with the 43-yard touchdown catch from Ryan Benko with 53 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, Holliston's going for 2 here, as they should, to make it a 1-possession game if they can get the 2 points. Really nicely done. In that time, Ryan Benko, when he has the time, and you can tell, he has that little hip turn. And when he does that, you know he feels very comfortable, and he's going to pass the ball very well. And, of course, a really nice ball thrown. And, Jake Armstrong, with his speed and his great hands, was able to run under that ball, make the catch, and pull away from the defender.
So 3 receivers to the right. Ibbotson steps up to Benko's left. Benko rolls left, looks in the end zone, short pass, incomplete. But with 53 seconds to go in the first half, the Panthers are on the board and trail Milford 16-6. Ryan Benko with his 11th touchdown pass of the season. Jake Armstrong with his 8th touchdown of the season, the 10th of his Panther career. And Holliston really needed that drive in from their own 22-yard line with, to make this happen, Jay.
Yeah, and, once again, let's go back to that play that on the punt that Jake made.
Actually, that drive started on their own 40.
Right. He saved a lot of yardage there for the Panthers, and nice move, and he was able to finish it off with a nice touchdown reception. Nice pass. And once again, I said when I've noticed a lot of this with Ryan Benko, when he stands up straight, Tom, when he can make that little turn and he has time to do that, he kind of turns his hip, just turns it. He always seems to throw the ball right on target when he does that.
Bouncing kick by Connor Mulvaney, scooped up at the 15-yard line. And Ryan O'Toole with Panthers sliding off of him right and left. Brings the ball all the way out to the 36-yard line. Nice return.
Let's see if they, I'm guessing they're going to go spread, and they're going to try and answer that last touchdown by Holliston.
So but now, only 44 seconds to go.
But now with the spread, Holliston can come up and do some blitzing on their own, too.
So number 7 is the quarterback for Milford, Colby Perez. He's got 3 touchdown passes on the season. Holliston taking a timeout.
Yeah, they had Holliston had to take that timeout because they were short a man, and they had the man run out on the field, but
just didn't get a chance to get him set up.
No, he didn't. And actually, I thought really it would be a good move. Of course, that's a thing that Tom Brady does a lot of times. He does it either somebody going off the field, he catches him, or going onto the field like that. They had a man totally uncovered over there, and you got to have a thing like blue or something, and the center will snap the ball, and the guy who's not covered just go downfield and catch the ball. But so Holliston had to call that timeout.
So 44 seconds to go here in the first half. Panthers just scored to make it 16-6. Perez hands the ball off to O'Toole, and he picks up a first down as he crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and again, a little mix-up in that defensive backfield and linebacking. There were a couple. They had Quinn came running off the field, and somebody had to come across the field. I don't know if they were out of position or what the story was, but Holliston wasn't quite ready for that run.
Clock stops as they move the chains, and now it'll start again. Now that they put the ball down, and they haven't. And Milford call a timeout? No, now they're going to roll the clock. They still don't move the clock. Clock did not start. And it should have started after that. Anyway, 38 seconds. Handoff to O'Toole. He hits the middle pretty hard, crosses midfield to the 45. And
now they're going to call a timeout, I believe.
Now Milford's going to take a timeout. So out of the timeout, Milford lines up in a spread formation, one back. 28 Ryan O'Toole in the backfield with Perez at quarterback. And the pitch is to O'Toole to try to get him to the outside.
Oh, great job.
Panthers string it out, and number 53, Alex Kelly, was like a heat-seeking missile there as he was chasing down number 28.
Very, very nicely done by that Holliston defense.
Well, Alex Kelly led the Panthers last year with 72 tackles. This year, coming into the game, he's also leading the Panthers with 40 tackles. We got a timeout with 7 seconds to go, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Scarlet Hawks.
Tom, if they were probably about 10 yards closer, I bet they would, with this wind at his back, I bet they would give Lehane a chance to kick this ball. But in all seriousness, I really do. I really think they would. But I just think they're really too far away.
61-yarder, Jay.
Yeah. Now he kicked that 45 or 46-yarder. He kicked that, and he had plenty of room to spare when he kicked that.
So 7 seconds to go. This should be the last play of the half. 3rd down and 1 for Milford. Perez looks downfield. Here come the Panthers. Perez lets it go deep. And it's caught for a touchdown. That ball just kept drifting, and so did the Milford receiver. And it's in for a touchdown with no time left on the clock. A 44-yard touchdown pass from Colby Perez with no time left in the first half. Milford lines up for the extra point kick. Lehane's kick is up and good. And so, with no time left in the first half, Milford scores on the last play and will head into the locker room with a 23-6 lead over the Panthers. And now Los with the halftime lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. The score at halftime, Milford leading Holliston by a score of 23-6. First downs, Holliston 6, Milford 10. The Scarlet Hawks outgaining the Panthers in the first half, 224 yards to 146 yards. That's 44 yards passing for Milford, 85 yards passing for Holliston. 180 yards rushing for Milford, 61 yards rushing for the Panthers. Panthers are 1 for 6 on third down in the first half. Milford, on the other hand, 2 for 4. And Milford getting it done on defense. They have 4 tackles for loss in the first half, including a big sack of Ryan Benko. Individually for the Panthers, speaking of Benko, he's 5 of 14 for 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Leading rusher for the Panthers is also Ryan Benko. He has 41 yards on 6 carries. The leading receiver for the Panthers in the first half was Jake Armstrong. He had 61 yards, including that pretty 43-yard touchdown pass from Benko, which is the Panthers' only score in the first half. For the Scarlet Hawks of Milford, quarterback Ryan Pearl, 1 of 2 for 44 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Ryan O'Toole has 78 yards and 2 touchdowns on 8 carries. Will Pointer also has 78 yards on 6 carries. And the leading receiver for the Scarlet Hawks is Colby Paris. He's got 44 yards on the touchdown reception. Defensively for the Panthers, Alex Kelly is leading all tacklers in the first half. He's got 4. And Brad Seymour checking in with 3 tackles as well. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCAT Football. And that's the lowdown.
Thank you, Los. Milford came out often and early on the ground, using their war game against the Panthers for a couple of O'Toole touchdowns, as he scored the second one with just the first play of the second quarter. Sean Lehane added a strong 27-yard field goal. Looked like the Panthers had started to get some things going as they were able to drive from their own 20 deep into Milford territory before they turned the ball over on an interception inside the 10-yard line. Then they held the Milford Scarlet Hawks to a quick 3-and-out. Jake Armstrong, nice job corralling the punt, got the ball at their own 40-yard line, and then a 40-yard nice drive and a 40-yard Benko to Armstrong touchdown made it 16-6. But that kick, that touchdown pass, that 40-yard touchdown pass, just as the time ran out in the first half, a bit of a dagger landed by Milford right at the end of the first half.
Yeah, you kind of saw a momentum swing. We're kind of hoping that Holliston really was starting to come around to it, and they kind of were, and then all of a sudden they throw up kind of like the old Hail Mary pass there, and Milford was able to complete it and go in for the touchdown. 23-6, Holliston down by 17. Start the second half.
But right now where Milford has the ball at their own 20, and it looks like they're lining up for war. If Holliston can hold them to a 3-and-out here, Milford kicking into the wind might be able to give a decent field position to the Panthers. Oh, but the quarterback breaks right out of it. Ryan Pearl in a rundown. And Benko able to make the touchdown-saving tackle, but not before Pearl is inside the 20 to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and they kind of went off script with that one, Tom, because they've been really making a lot of yardage going to the outside, but that time it was the quarterback who was able to just kind of make a turn and come up, and once he broke by that first line of defense, which we see a lot of times with the war. You break that first line of defense, there's nobody else there because you're using a 6 or 7 man defensive line.
So 1st and 10 for the Hawks. This time they pitch it to O'Toole, and he breaks a couple of tackles, and he's in for a score. So not the script the Panthers had to start the second half, with Pearl breaking away for 80 yards. 70 yards, and then a 15-yard score by Ryan O'Toole, his 3rd touchdown of the game. And with just 10:15 left in the third quarter, Milford's up 29-6, with Lehane lining up for the extra point attempt. Lahane's kick, sort of a knuckler.
Yeah, I don't think.
But it went through the uprights, and it's an even 30-6 with just 45 seconds gone here in the second half.
We saw Lahane out at halftime, Tom, kicking with the wind 50-yard field goals. 50-yarders practicing. Of course, it was with the wind, but who cares? Kicking 50 yards.
Well, if he was in the Tri-Valley League, we'd be calling him the best kicker since Grant Buchanan.
That's right. That's right.
Grant Buchanan doing a great job for the Bentley University Falcons. I think he's only missed a couple of extra points on the year, and seems like Bentley's scoring 40 points every game.
They are. And their best tackler is a safety, I believe, right? Nick Athy.
Is Nick the top tackler?
I think he's one of them, yeah. I think he is.
I know he was Defensive Player of the Week as he had a number of tackles, a sack, and an interception a couple of weeks ago. Lahane's kick taken at the 10-yard line by Brad Seymour.
Oh.
Snakes his way through across the 40-yard line to the 41, giving good field position to the Panthers.
We talked about how the Panthers were in kind of uncharted territory here with, not being involved in the playoffs, the state playoffs. Since they changed the format of that, Holliston has been in right down to the divisional finals every year, and some years winning the Super Bowl. And so we're kind of interested to see how the Holliston coaching staff is going to handle this game and the game next Friday night.
Benko rolling away from the pressure, fires,
nice
complete to Seymour, but he's out of bounds right in front of the Milford bench. Well, Jay, you talk about the winning, and Holliston has done a lot of winning in the last 9 years, no question about it. But it's all building blocks. It's about winning practices. It's about coming out and winning, a set of downs, your first offensive drive, your first defensive drive. It's about winning the quarter, winning the half, winning the play.
Yep.
Those one-on-one battles, they all add up. And so Holliston's going to dig down a little bit and see if they can start winning some battles here to make some positive yards against Milford. 2nd down and 10. Benko, straight drop.
Uh-oh.
And it's intercepted by Milford, and it's going to be returned for a touchdown.
I had mentioned the last interception that it was read perfectly. It was a beautiful interception. That I didn't catch the number of the Milford player, but he snuffed out that screen pass. He was just right there waiting, and he was going in the other direction when he caught it. So it would have been very hard for anyone from Holliston to make a tackle to prevent him from getting a touchdown. Very nicely done by the Milford defensive player, giving Milford a 36-6 lead as they go for the extra point.
Lahane's kick is blocked.
And Holliston can run this. Yep.
And the extra point attempt is no good. So with 9:40 to go in the third quarter, Milford quickly on the board, 36-6 over the Panthers. So in the stretch of a minute and 20 seconds, Jay, Milford scored 3 times.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast.
That is pretty fast. And Tom, so now you're down there, you're in the Holliston coaching staff, and what do you say? And I think you summed it up really well. You say, look, okay, we got to come out and win a play. Then we got to win a series, and then if we can score a touchdown, we'll come in and score a touchdown. You just, these are young kids. These are kids used to winning a lot. They're used to having their way a lot in football games in the past. And sometimes this happens, and you have to be able to live with this and understand what's going on, and what can you do, A, to stop it, but B, even more importantly, this is the most important thing about losing, is be able to learn from it. What do we do wrong? What do we have to work on? Where do we have to get better? And this is what Holliston's got to look at right now.
Lahane's kick taken by Seymour at the 7. He spins after he crosses the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Now, I also got to tell you, Tom, coming out, I know there was a tough loss last week for Milford, too. I believe they lost to Duxbury, right?
And we heard that there was a Lahane field goal attempt that would have won the game. That was very close. And was called no good.
Yeah, and there was some who felt it was good, and whether it was or not. But
the way he kicks it so high over the uprights. It's hard to tell.
Sometimes you don't know. But this is a really good team. This is a really good team. I think this is the best team we've seen since, of course, Lincoln Sudbury. Or at least they're playing the best we've seen since Lincoln Sudbury.
Benko away from the pressure. Throws incomplete. No, you're right, Jay. Looking at you watched a little bit of Milford football. Yep. I saw the game against Stoughton, and Stoughton is a very good squad. And again, that was an impressive game. I mean, they lost 14-3, but again, held Stoughton to just 14 points.
Yeah. Now, Stoughton, in fairness, Stoughton didn't have their starting quarterback.
Is that right?
Yeah, they didn't have the starting quarterback in that game. But it's meaningless. They still had the running game going, and they still had the big line and everything. So they still did a good job.
No, Milford. Stoughton's a tough team, and Duxbury's one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah, so they've played hard.
Hand off to Benson, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Tries to scratch out a yard. That should bring up 3rd down and 9. Let's see if they spot it.
And this team, I mean, they've moved obviously into the Hockomock League, which moves them into Eastern Mass. But for years they were in the Central. They were in Central Mass,
right.
and if this team's playing in Central Mass, they have a good shot of running right through the playoffs.
Well, they were just a hairbreadth from joining the Tri-Valley League a number of years ago, as they were sort of a double or nothing, as it was Milford and Dedham or nothing, and Dedham voted no at the time, and so Milford did not join the TVL, and the next year they joined the Hockomock. So 3rd down and 9. Benko hit as he throws the ball, incomplete. Big blitz there by the Scarlet Hawks will bring up a 4th down and 10.
8:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Holliston trailing 36-6. 4th down. I think when Ryan Benko went to throw that ball, his arm got caught in the arm of the tackler, and trying to shake it off there a little bit. Well, Holliston's going to go for it.
Well, Benko is
he's also the punter, right?
He's also the punter, so let's see what they empty backfield on 4th down and 10. Benko rolls right, fires, and it's incomplete. Intended for Armstrong. The Panthers are going to turn it over on downs on their own 28-yard line.
So that's one of the things I was talking about, Tom, when you get in a game like this and in the one next week. Of course, I keep leaving out the Thanksgiving Day game, because in that game you're going to play your seniors. You're going to really, that's a really meaningful game to a lot of kids. I'm not saying these games aren't meaningful, but that's a real meaning. But this game and the game next week are games that the coaching staff can really try out some stuff, look at some kids, do some different things. And you say, well, why didn't they just punt there? Well, why should they? They're looking to do other things. Nice tackle.
Handoff pitch to O'Toole. And this time he's stopped for a short gain. 2nd down and 8.
One yard gain is one. 2nd down and 9 from the 27.
Well, 6:45 and counting here left in the 3rd quarter.
Will Pointer to the right. Fake is to him, and the quarterback, Pearl, turns around.
Yeah, this is coming back.
Takes it up. Flag in the middle of the play.
This is coming back. That'll be holding on Milford. So this will come back. There'll be a 10-yard penalty and 2nd and long.
Number 52, Braden Fedderson, checks in for the Panthers up front. So it'll be 2nd down and 20. There's the handoff to Pointer. He's forced to the outside. Benko wrestles him down, but he picks up a couple. Still be 3rd down and long.
You know, Holliston has a way when they get into the season, deeper into the season in the playoff or important games and stuff, they start putting more players on defense than they would normally put, different players than they would normally put. More kids are going a little bit more 2 ways here and there, and Ryan Benko is one of those. They've been playing him a little more back at safety and everything, and he really has done a nice job back there in the defensive backfield.
56 Ryan Cahill, number 25 Logan Brooks check in. And the Panthers stopped that one for a loss as O'Toole was tackled back in the backfield. I mean, he's got a strong motor, but he had a knee down.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up 4th down and 22.
Now, this is against the wind, and it's ball's almost back to the 40, so they won't try a field goal here. It's interesting. We're talking about field goals, this distance in field goals in a high school game, but this kid Lahane can really kick well, and it makes the game a little exciting. 4:25 left to go in the 3rd. The clock is running, and they're going to take a timeout here, I'm sure, once it gets down to a few seconds left. And there it is. Milford takes a timeout. And Holliston at this point should understand they're definitely going to punt this ball. They're not going to. This will not be a fake with a 36-6 score. 4:14 left to go in the 3rd.
Jake Armstrong, number 5, drops back to receive the kick. And
oh boy, did that get a Milford
bounce? Takes a Milford bounce when it's all going your way.
Yep.
And Holliston's going to be back at their own 6-yard line with 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and you got to fight through this, Tom, and you got to come out here now and see if you can drive the ball downfield a little bit. Milford's defense out here. It's Milford. I don't know about you, but I have a tough time reading those dark letters on those red.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Red jerseys there.
They look a little like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they're cool uniforms. I mean, on the video I saw, they look pretty cool. But man, out here, without any sort of white and dark contrast, they're a little tough to read.
So I can't. The point is, I can't tell if they're putting some different kids in on defense or not.
Well, I got Matt Arvanitis in at quarterback. He hands off to Ibbotson. Nice push by the Panther front 7. And Ibbotson picks up 3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
Arvanitis, a little bit on him there. He's quite an athlete.
Well, last year he led the freshmen to an undefeated season. He got injured and Brian Gary took over, but still undefeated season for the Panther freshman. Here's Ibbotson as he turns the corner on the left-hand side, spun out of bounds, but picks up a 1st down as he crosses the 25.
First down, Holliston on the rush by Dylan.
Couple of nice runs for number 32. Ibbotson with 143 yards and 3 touchdowns coming into this game. Handoff to number 27, Tristan Benson. He's forward to the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for Holliston.
Clock is running with 2:45 left to go in the third.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 7.
Arvanitis fakes it to Benson, keeps it himself, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like there was a block there that got missed, and if that block was made, I think Arvanitis is going to be able to turn it upfield a little bit and make some yardage out of that.
I mean, the sophomore's got he's got some speed. That's really his number 1 weapon. He's got a strong arm, developing arm. We saw him in some preseason games, especially good on those rollouts.
Yeah, very good. And Tom, they have Henry Naughton's back next year, right? He's the war quarterback, and
right.
Who knows what the plans is for next year for that? But here's a chance for Arvanitis to get some chance to come in and get some real decent experience at the varsity level. This is really important. We talk about this. Fortunately for Holliston, a lot of times in the past, it's been that the Holliston's been on the big end of the scores, and they've been able to get a lot of kids into these games. But recently, they haven't had that opportunity, and because they've been fighting and scrapping on most of these games, so they haven't had the opportunity where the score was large enough to get these other kids in. Well, that's what I said. Tonight and next week will be a good time to get these kids get some experience, so they know what it's like when they start up for next year.
Benko's punt taken at the 36-yard line. Punt returner brings it across the 40 to the 43.
And it looks like we got a bunch of new kids out there.
Try to get some of those numbers. So 1st down and 10 for Milford at their own 43. 49 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And a gain of 7 by number 28, O'Toole. They're going to give them a gain of 8, 2nd down and 2.
This is interesting because chances are this will be the last play of the half if that other play wasn't. Yeah, this will be the last quarter. This will be the last play of the quarter. So what's setting up now, and I keep going back to the field goal kicker, but what's setting up is maybe an opportunity if they can get another 15 yards or so to have them kick with the wind and see if he can put up maybe a 50-yarder.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
36-6, and you're going to kick a field goal.
You're going to give the kid a chance to kick a 50-yard field goal. Absolutely. And you know what? I don't think any of them from Holliston would really care either. I don't think that would matter.
If I had scissors, you'd be off the air. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Milford leading Holliston 36-6, and it's time for this week in the Tri-Valley League. Brought to you by HABA, Holliston Athletic Boosters Association, raising money to support all Panther varsity sports. Get your spirit wear at the concession stand to support Panther Nation today. Well, the Panthers didn't lost their 1st-round playoff game, but there's other teams in the playoffs. The Holliston cheerleaders finished 2nd in the TVLs, are going on to the regionals. The field hockey game I did with maybe somebody, a little bit of a tryout, but with Mark Inman. He was very good in the color role. We did the field hockey game. They won 1-0 against Old Rochester.
I'm watching my back, Mark.
And the soccer team is playing Saturday night at 4 o'clock.
That's boys soccer?
Boys soccer. And then girls soccer is playing, I believe their game was today. Or now it's Monday. Monday night, 6 o'clock against Canton. And the boys are playing East Bridgewater, I believe, on Saturday at Comedian Field, 4 o'clock. So if you're live right now on HCAT Live, thank you, Bruce Guilfoy, for getting us connected and get us some power here. Head over to Comedian Field tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock to watch the Panther boys in playoff action. First down and 10 for Milford as we start the fourth quarter. Pitch to number 4. And he's got a gain of 6 yards. Second down and 4 for Milford.
9:50 to go in this ball game.
What was that, Lois? We had a Situate leading Medfield, 38-21 in the third quarter, fourth quarter.
No, that's kind of a surprising score.
So yeah, let's see if Medfield can close it up. They're a pretty good fourth quarter team, as Hopkinton and Holliston saw.
Exactly.
Going out of the War offense. That's Will Pointer driving off the left side for a first down at the Panther 25-yard line.
When they snap this ball, there'll be well under 9 minutes left to go in this ball game. 36-6. Milford in the lead.
Pitch to Pointer. Tackled by Kelly.
Now, you know, Tom, you kind of disparaged me about the field goal.
Kind of disparaged you.
But there they are with Pointer still in the ball game.
Oh, no, I want to make it unequivocally. I was disparaging. Please mark that on the tape. Have it flash in red lights.
I've worked with some good disparagers, and you're one of the top ones.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
But they still have, Will Pointer in the ball game. They're still going full steam ahead with this offense.
It looks like the first offense for Milford. So second down and 2 for the Scarlet Hawks. They're going to pitch to O'Toole, 28. And Brad
nice
Seymour
job.
comes up to make the tackle. Probably not enough to stop him from the first down, but I believe he had a gain of 3 on it. Let's see where they mark that. No, he's going to be a yard short. So it'll be third down and 1. So maybe they'll take a knee right here so Lehane can kick a field goal. Jeez. That was sarcastic disparaging.
It's not sarcastic if you have to say it.
So third down and 1 for Milford. Quarterback sneak and a flag.
See, they went offside.
On purpose.
Procedure on purpose so they could kick the field goal. 7:17 left to go in this ball game.
Well, then why didn't Kylie decline the procedure penalty? All right, so it'll be third down and 6, but a very makeable field goal for Lehane with the wind at his back.
Yeah.
Isn't it time for an MIAA announcement or something?
It should be.
Stay in school or you'll end up being a broadcaster on HCAT. Pitch to Pointer.
Oh, he did not get it.
He did not get it. He needed to get to the inside the 15, and I don't think he did.
Fourth down.
So fourth down and 1.
6-yard gain on the play, brings that fourth down and 1 from the 16.
Probably going to see a quarterback sneak here. And a big push by both lines, but back go the Scarlet Hawks.
He didn't get it. I don't think he got it. I think it's Holliston ball. They had to cross the 15, right? I don't think he crossed the 15.
I think you need to be inside the 15 based on where the sticks are.
And when the ref put the foot down, I don't think they made it.
So
Nope.
Milford turns it over on downs with 6:13 to go in this ball game. Milford leading 36-6, but a little bit of a cheer from the Panther fans as they don't get to see Sean Lehane kick a field goal.
Somebody had too much Halloween candy.
It was you. 2 Snickers bars.
6:13 left to go in this ball game.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you got to be a co-host with them.
You know? And folks, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be as professional as I can here. It's 36-6, Holliston down by 30 and with the ball, and they're going to war offense with Henry Naughton at quarterback.
Pitch, left-hand side.
Nice
And
scrum.
big
Nice scrum.
rugby scrum by
Nice
the
scrum.
Panther offensive line. And that's a gain of over 5 yards. And that was Brad Seymour on the carry, number 8. Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2. 5:40 to go in the ball game. This time they give it to Armstrong, left side. He's got enough for the first down, and they move the sticks.
Yeah, Brad, there was some nice blocking over there, and Brad got caught actually from behind. He got tackled from behind on that, and if he was able to get a little bit, another foot or so out of that, Brad would have gone a long way.
And Benson and Quinn come in as new wingbacks. Pitch to Benson. Left side. He stopped just short of the 30-yard line. So 2nd down and 9.
Clock running, 4:56 left to go in this ball game.
They hand it to Kevin Quinn on a jet play, but good penetration by Milford right there for no gain. Out comes Matt Arvanitis. Billy Nash looks like they're going to go to the spread offense on 3rd down and long. Armstrong wide to the right. Quinn and Nash to the left. Arvanitis fires complete to Armstrong.
And if that's not a first, it's close enough to go for it.
Let's see where they mark it.
It looks like they're going to give him the first down.
And they wave him forward. So it's a first down for the Panthers. Matt Arvanitis to Jake Armstrong. Armstrong, the top receiver for the Panthers.
Oh, the ball's tipped.
Coming into this game, Armstrong with 11 catches, 154 yards. Just caught his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. So 2nd down and 10 on the deflected ball.
Looks like they're going to war again?
No, Benson.
No, I guess not.
Benson in the backfield with Arvanitis, 2nd down and 10. The handoff to number 27. He's stacked up at the line, no gain. Bring up 3rd down and 10.
Talked earlier about how I really like watching Benson run. He does a really nice job, and I want to say violent is the way I think. You know, he really runs extremely hard. He's very fast. If he gets out in front, they're not going to catch him either. He's only a freshman.
So 3rd down and 9. We're under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the game. Arvanitis rolls left, tucks the ball and heads for the sidelines.
Oh, he got the first down. Nicely done by Arvanitis. You know, Matt, you talked about Matt Arvanitis and the speed that he has, Tom, and he's displayed it right there. Nice job. First down, Holliston.
So a 9-yard gain was enough to get him to midfield. And a Panther first down. So that Scituate Medfield score is a final, and Scituate will go on to face the winner of Foxborough and Dennis Yarmouth.
Oh, what a move. Oh, it's coming back. But what a move by Arvanitis. Oh, what a nice move.
Used his quick feet to get away from one defender there.
He actually bent backwards at the hip. He bent backwards, and somebody missed him, and he just came right up along.
Shook him off. Shook off that defender. Hopkinton 20-0 over Dartmouth in that Division IV semifinal, South semifinal.
Coach Kiley's out there in the middle of the field talking with the ref about something. It's right out there where the flag was thrown.
We haven't seen a signal yet, right?
No. Maybe they.
Guessing it's against Holliston.
Oh, it's against Holliston. Yeah, that looks like procedure against Holliston. Oh, I guess it wasn't procedure. I thought I saw procedure, but did he go back 10 yards?
Yeah. So holding call.
It must be holding, maybe, yeah.
Bring up first down and 20. Down a minute 42 to go in the ball game. Panthers trailing by 30.
Clock running. Well, I'll tell you, Tom, Milford really did a nice job tonight, offensively, defensively, special teams. They had it won all around tonight. They did a very, very nice job.
Two good teams battled, but Milford really took advantage early and just never let off the gas. And Arvanitis dropped for a sack there. That's going to bring up second down and long.
50 seconds left and the clock running. Nice job on the streaming tonight, too. You know, we have Christian Boudet down there in the field camera, Tom, and Bruce Guilfoy here doing all the mechanical, technical.
Well, and they tried to unplug us 3 times.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work.
One was me unplugging you.
Arvanitis' throw is incomplete, bringing up third down.
But Holliston hopefully will have a home game next week.
You know, Jay, we didn't get into the other non-playoff games in the TVL, but there were some interesting matchups with Bellingham at Norwood. Norwood, who's applying, as I understand it, to join the Tri-Valley League next year. Don't know that every T has been crossed and I dotted. Canton and Medway, an interesting matchup, and Westwood at Sharon, another TVL against Hockomock League. And like I mentioned, on Sunday they'll figure out which teams that are not in the playoff bracket and try to make the best matchup. My vote, as I told you on the way over, would be for Holliston Ashland at Canadian Field next week. Ashland playing a rematch against Hanover. Down at Hanover tonight.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that renewed as a rivalry too, the Ashland Holliston. Whoa, nice run.
So Benson gets to the corner and tackled just after about a 10-15 yard gain.
Clock stops with 18 seconds left in the game. The other thing, while we're at it and giving kudos here, the lovely Lisa on the big camera here, nice job, and of course Carlos doing the stats, did a nice job here.
Our onboard statistician.
Onboard statistician.
And meteorologist.
He said
he did say no rain, and there's no rain.
But he didn't mention the hurricane, you know.
Yeah, this wind's been a bit of a battle.
Yeah.
So fourth down and 20. Arvanitis rolls left.
Ooh.
And is slung down.
And the clock will just run out here. I think.
And that's going to be the ball game. So your final here from Milford, the Scarlet Hawks beat the Panthers 36-6. And because of the backup power, we've got to get the hamster going on the wheel so we can get enough power to get the computer to total up right here.
Well, nice game, as I said earlier, by Milford. They did a nice job, and Holliston, they know what they have to do with the coaching staff. They'll make the adjustments they have to make.
Well, Coach Kiley will make sure he doesn't get rid of any assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Nobody leaves here alive. Let Anthony Viskakis out of there.
Who, by the way, has done a really nice job.
Really nice job here for Milford. No question about it. All kidding aside.
So the boys congratulate each other, and Holliston, as you said earlier, Tom, we don't know who we're going to play next week, but I believe that we will have a home
I will be there.
Game. And
I will be there. I'll be there with a GoPro on my head.
The other thing is, it's maybe not too early to announce also that the Thanksgiving Day game this year is at home.
That's right.
So we expect
HCAT will be live that.
And I think that'll be senior night too.
Right. And now, HCAT's onboard computer statistician Carlos Canto with Los's final lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. All over from Milford as the Scarlet Hawks take care of the Panthers tonight by a score of 36-6. All Milford in this one. 349 total yards of offense for Milford, 201 for the Panthers, 14 first downs for Milford, 10 for Holliston. 94 yards passing, 107 yards rushing for the Panthers, 44 yards passing, 305 yards rushing for Milford. Tackles for loss, all Milford on that category. 4 tackles for loss, actually 7 tackles for loss, 4 tackles and then 3 more sacks. Third down conversions, Holliston 3 of 11. Milford 2 of 6, and then Holliston actually dominating the time of possession in this game, 24 minutes to 19, just under 20 minutes for Milford. Individual contributors for the Panthers, quarterback Ryan Benko was 5 of 19 for 85 yards. The leading rusher for the Panthers tonight was also Ryan Benko. He had 41 yards on 6 carries. Tristan Benson had 30 yards, and Dylan Ibbotson had 28 yards on the night. The leading receiver for the Panthers was Jake Armstrong. He had 70 yards, including a 43-yard touchdown reception from Ryan Benko in the first half. For Milford, quarterback Ryan Pearl was 1 of 2 for 44 yards. One of those passes a touchdown to Colby Pierce. And the leading rushers for Milford, they had a good night tonight. Ryan O'Toole with 100 yards even on 13 carries, including 3 touchdowns, and then Will Pointer 110 yards on 11 carries. The leading defensive players for Holliston, another big game from Alex Kelly. He had 7 total tackles on the night. Brad Seymour checking in with 4, and Ryan Benko checking in with 3 tackles as well. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCAT Football, and that's the lowdown.
Thank you, Luce, and thank you to Bruce Guilfoy. Thank you to Lisa Hedrick. Thank you to Christian Boudet. Thank you to Jay Wyman. Thank you to Sean LaHaye. I'm Tom Emmons saying goodnight from Milford, Massachusetts. Panthers drop this one to the Scarlet Hawks 36-6. Good night, everybody.